So moving on to content filtering. So SpamTitan blocks viruses, spam, and file extensions. So virus filtering is on by default. We've two antiviruses built in. We've ClamAV and Kaspersky AV, and these are set to automatically update on an hourly basis. On our spam updates again set to automatically update on an hourly basis. It's basically a plug and play, guys, and just with our file extensions you can go into a lot more detail on what type of extensions you want allowed or banned on your network. Okay, so moving on to anti-spam engine. So first of all, our settings page. Obviously we have the Bayesian database and this is on by default. We also have pen pal soft whitelisting, OCR, botnet analysis, and passive OS fingerprinting. By default, pen pal soft whitelisting, botnet, and passive OS fingerprinting should be on. If you're getting hit hard by image-based spam, you can decide to enable OCR. Okay. This product comes out of the box with a 99.98% spam catch rate. So on our domain policies, this is where you can edit both your inbound domains and your outbound mail. Okay, so just click on edit to edit an inbound domain. So by default our spam threshold is 5. This number can be increased or decreased depending on what settings you want. When a mail comes through to SpamTitan, we have different tests, and these tests individually score each mail. If a mail is scored 5 or above, it's then deemed to be spam. You then have three options. You can quarantine it, pass tag, or reject it. We recommend everything to be quarantined. Same with any viruses caught, and same with any banned attachments caught as well. All to be sent to quarantine report. You can enable a quarantine report by clicking enable here, and you can have a quarantine report in any of these languages specified below. I'll just show you an example of the SpamTitan quarantine report. So this is what your users will get in the morning. So you can fully rebrand the quarantine report so that your own logo and name is showed on the report. So it shows the spam messages, so it shows a score, from who, subject, date, and then as an action, as an end user, you can deliver, whitelist, or delete. So if I saw false positive for some reason, I can click on whitelist, and this would teach SpamTitan that's a valid contact. It will not block this person ever again. Okay. You can also give different users domain administrator rights. So this is a managed service provider or an ISP. You can give different customers access to their own internal domain. So if I just impersonate a domain admin, so this is the domain administrator for menlopark.ie. So again, they have a snapshot of what's going on their own domain, and they have their last 7 days data, so total amount of mail, spam, clean, invalid recipients. On the settings, they can change their outbound disclaimers. For filter rules, they can globally or domain on a domain basis blacklist any email addresses or any domains, and this can be done on a whitelist basis as well. And then for the quarantine, they can manage their quarantine, so they can view all the mail for their quarantine that's caught. They can search by different types of criteria, so spam, viruses, banned attachments, message flow, inbound, outbound, or one or the other, any score, recipient or sender email address, and then they can create different reports for their own internal domain. Okay, so they can view their history as well, and they can also view their reports and create different reports for a domain. Okay, so that's what a domain administrator rights has. So just log out and come back in. So as I was saying, you can edit your different policies for your different domains. We also have user policies that you can create. So for example, it usually is the CEO or the VP of sales or marketing that gets a lot more spam than others. So what you can do is you can create a user policy, so you can add in their email address. For example, it could be run@spamtitan.com, and you can lower their spam threshold to maybe 4. you can tweak their spam filtering. So if they want all their mail to be, say, pass tag, this can be done. And if they didn't want virus filtering, any attachment file filtering, this can be switched off or on depending on the user. And if they wanted a quarantine report or if they didn't want a quarantine report, this can also be tweaked here as well. These user policies will take precedent over the domain policies that you have created. On the settings, first of all, you can change your password, which would be the first recommendation that we would say. Change it from the hi admin to whatever password you want. Interface settings, you can fully rebrand the product, so you can change the company logo to your own company logo, and you can also change the color scheme and feel of the product to whatever you want. You can import your SSL certs from here and manage them from here. And we also have TLS encryption, so you can manage your TLS encryption, enable it if you want to or not. With backup, we would recommend backing up your config, so you can schedule a backup on a frequency of weekly, daily or monthly to any FTP server of your choice. So just in case your server was ever to fail over for some reason, you could create a new server and load your settings up into your new working server. On filter rules, this is on a global basis. You can globally blacklist any email addresses and any domains that you so choose, and this can be done on a whitelist basis as well. Quarantine, you can manage your entire quarantine from here. So again, it'll show you different types of criteria to search from, all the way from sender or recipient email address. If you did see a false positive for some reason, you can click on it and it'll give you more details into why it was caught. So you can see country of origin was Vietnam, message size, content classification, was there virus caught, what was the score given to this particular mail, was it quarantined. You can also then view the message. You can also view the source, so you can see that the Bayesian database gave it a 3.5, HTML bounce message 0.1, and then as an option you can release, whitelist, delete or forward. Settings, this is where you'd set what time you want to send your end user digest. So here at SpamTitan we get ours at 8:05. You can fully rebrand the quarantine logo, as I said, so you can change this to your own company logo, and you can also change the report name, report address and report subject. By default, each end user receives one quarantine report daily at whatever time you specify above, but by allowing users request on demand reports, users can request as many reports as they want throughout the day. So for example, if I was expecting an email at 3 o'clock from a client of mine and it's now 4, instead of me ringing the network admin and asking them to search through the quarantine report, I can go onto my quarantine report and click new items since last report only, and this will send me a new report since the one I got at 8:05 this morning. And with aliases, so if you're using Microsoft Exchange, you can unify all aliases to be sent to one report. On our reporting, so first of all, system information. System information gives you another snapshot of what's going on. So this is what our support technicians would use. If you have any issues, they'd log on and check your system information first to check that all the services are running okay. On our history, this is a real-time view of all mail coming onto your network, so it shows the date and time, the message ID, the client source IP, what type of mail it was. Was it clean? Was it relay denied? Was it spam? Invalid recipient? From who, to who, subject and size. You can also change the display settings, so you can check if you have an additional cluster node. You can check from cluster node 1, 2 or 3 or 4 depending on how many nodes you have. You can show message flow, delivery response, delivery status. Just on the mail filter, again, you can go into that more detail and search from different criteria from message flow, recipient, sender, email address, source IP, spam ID number, any type of score, or even delivery status. Was sent, deferred, or bounced. Or if you come over here on the right hand side, you can search for maybe false positive viruses and banned attachment from a custom date range if you wanted to. On our reporting suite, you can create different reports. So here are the reports that you can use. So summary reports, top spam relay, license usage reports, top RBLs. So just on summary reports, it can be from just today, yesterday, or last 7 days. And you can also customize the PDF report so that you can fully rebrand the product so that your own logo and PDF text header is shown on any report sent out. When you're happy with this report, click on Run, and it will then show up in today's reports. And in today's reports, you can view it, generate a PDF, download spreadsheet, delete or archive, or you can create a schedule report. So summary report on a daily, weekly or monthly basis in PDF, text, Excel, or all three formats, and just specify the email you want to be sent to and click add. Lastly, with your logs, you can search for your logs, and you can also send all your logs to a remote 6-slot server as well. And just on the clustering, you can cluster the appliance, and these clusters can be geographically dispersed for failover and redundancy as well. Okay, if you have any more questions, you can call into our help desk or our sales department, or if you want a 30-day free trial of the product, you can download it at www.spamtitan.com/downloads. Thank you for listening to this demo.